Let's keep things going. I know, Patrick, you're excited about this tip of the week today. Three proven formulas to generate $5,000 in revenue with membership dues and fees. When you're thinking about your member organization, whether you're a nonprofit trying to collect donations and dues, or an association, or you're a local business directory website, pricing strategy is very important. And I think one thing that people forget to do is to set a goal, a revenue goal that you hope to reach or aim, and then reverse engineer your marketing plan based on that goal. And Patrick, why don't you share a little bit about what value there is in this tip of the week that's coming up right now?
Yeah, what I'm most excited about, and I've gone through this exercise multiple times, and it's very interesting because it is in fact a formula that we're going to be showing off here, and the fact that there's a lot of variables that you have to consider. There is setting the goal, and once you've set that goal, it's a matter of inputting numbers and identifying, okay, to reach this goal, which formula is right for me. And that's what we're going to be going over today, is three proven formulas depending on your personal situation. And these three formulas pretty much cover all the different scenarios that people find themselves in as entrepreneurs.
Awesome. So let's dive right into it. You have a website or a print directory or an existing organization with members, and you collect dues and membership fees. First, let's address, why are people paying to be part of your organization? There's probably more reasons, but these are probably the top 5 reasons why members would pay dues and fees to be a part of your website or organization. And essentially, it's because you're providing them with some type of product or service that helps them personally or helps their business. So one is, you could be providing them access to information. So maybe you have premium content or specialized newsletters, and people are paying for access to that industry information. They could be paying membership dues for exposure and visibility, whether it's personal or for their business. But what they're going to calculate is, are they getting a return on their investment for that exposure and visibility? Essentially, they're paying for advertising to be part of your organization and website. The third is pretty straightforward. It's prestige and credibility. If being a part of your organization is hard to get into or exclusive, or you have hurdles that people need to go through in order to be part of your organization, that has value. And if your organization is a credible one, it can help them personally to mention that they're part of your community. The next one is networking opportunities. Again, this can be personal or professional. So by being part of your organization, you invite them into your networking groups, whether they're digital, virtual, or in person. And then lastly is, maybe you strike an emotional chord with potential members, and they're going to support your cause and your mission, and they're willing to make that investment, not for their personal gain, but for the gain of the cause and the mission that your website or organization stands for. There are more reasons why people would pay for membership dues, but these are pretty common ones. So you want to make sure that when you're asking for people to pay for something, that they're at least going to get one of these benefits or some other benefit out of it, that it's not just a blind payment for nothing. So Pat, what's up with all the how muches on this slide here? And what does that have to do with setting up revenue goals?
So basically, it is a number that we want to really come up with, in a quantity, and it is a formula. So we do need to come out with an actual number. So we want to know how much you want to generate, how much you want to invest, how much available time you want to have. And like we said, if we're talking formulas, we're talking numbers, and that's why we're asking these types of questions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think when we're set, because when people start a business, they say, I want to make $100 million. Mm-hmm. So, well, you need customers to support that. You need members to support that. So you have to reverse engineer it. How much can someone in this industry afford? What's the industry standard? How much value am I going to give them? Am I going to move into their house and work for them full time as their marketing consultant? Whatever it might, how much available time are you going to spend? How much money do you want to invest? We have to remember that you can bootstrap your idea and work on a startup budget and use grassroots marketing, but there's still a level of financial investment that you're going to make. Whether it's $5 or $500,000, you need to figure out how much money you're going to invest to help you reach your revenue goals.
And in that example, Jason, let's say I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to bootstrap it. I have a very small budget, and then it's time for me to set up my revenue goals. How would that impact my goal setting when it comes to revenue?
Exactly. And then with that is basically because you're bootstrapping it, you don't have high investment costs, but you're going to have a lot of sweat equity. So that's going to be your available time that you're putting into the business. And then the value of your available time comes down to your experience. Are you a super marketing ninja? You know exactly, you can sell ice to an Eskimo, and you can basically use little money and a little bit of time and get high results. Or are you a beginner and you're just learning how to do marketing, or starting an organization and learning how to manage and gain membership? So a lot of that you have to take into consideration when you're creating your revenue goals. And then lastly is, how much demand is there in the market for your product and service? How saturated is it with competitors? How tired are people of if a new company pops up? And how are you going to differentiate yourself?
And that goes back to that hamster wheel, right, that we talked about. Are you filling a need? Is there a clear goal to your website? And the bigger the need, the bigger the demand, the more value there is, and the easier it is to tie that to that revenue goal.
So with these questions, and I like when Pat says it, you have to have a real conversation with yourself and really ask yourself, are you doing hope marketing, or are you being realistic with what your goals are and your goal setting and how you're going to get to your goals?
And there's good news with this, right, Jason, is that it doesn't matter what your answers are. There is a formula for you to follow. And that's exactly what we're going to be showing everybody here. So there is no right or wrong formula. We're going to show you 3 proven pricing formulas that you can adapt to your situation. And everybody on this webinar probably falls under one of these scenarios.
That's a very good point. Let me backtrack on the slide once for 1 second, Pat. Why don't you guys jot down these questions and kind of just write short answers. They don't have to be set in stone. And as we continue with this tip of the week, see which option of these 3 formulas makes more sense based on where you fall with these questions, your available time, how much you want to generate, et cetera, et cetera. So these are 3 proven pricing formulas that you can apply to collect membership dues and fees and get people to sign up to your community website, your directory website. The difference between them is the approach. You could be higher priced and be the Rolls Royce of your industry, on a higher level, but the expectations of your members are going to be much higher, and you'll probably have fewer potential members, but the value is going to be much greater for those. You could be moderately priced, which is going to be hard for you to differentiate yourself from competitors, because being moderately priced, you're probably in line with industry pricing and the features that they're offering. So the important question you need to answer for people is why they should select you over the competition, since you're so close to them. And the last one, which seems like a good option, lower price, might actually require more work and experience. So you're essentially going to be undercutting the competition. You're going to really need to have a lot of optimization and automation in place with regards to landing pages, the sign-up process. And if you're taking on more members, you're probably going to be more hands-off with regards to support, because you can't give one-on-one support to someone when you're signing up hundreds or thousands of people on a lower price. There's huge potential with the lower price, but it does require more experience. Also, sometimes a lower price can cheapen the perceived value of what you're offering, and that might in itself turn people away. So when you consider which one is right for you, it does really come down to your experience, what you're offering as far as is it going to be one-on-one assistance with the members, or are you going to be more hands-off? And what the sign up or sales process is going to be. Pat, what are some characteristics of a person who might want to choose the higher price product route in this case?
This would be somebody that would possibly have a smaller marketing budget, a smaller development budget as well. Because again, when you're talking about optimization, when you're talking about automation, you're talking about having some element of resources and definitely experience. So somebody that wants to offer a higher price product would also be somebody that has more time to invest into their product. They're bringing experience to the table because they're going to be a part of that brand oftentimes. So if I'm launching a new brand, I might be the face of the company, and I'm going to get heavily involved both on the onboarding, in the selling process, and there's going to be some element of ongoing service that they're getting in return for that sort of a product.
Gotcha. So the customer's gonna have higher expectations. The member's gonna have higher expectations. So if you're charging a premium way higher than competitors, you're gonna have to deliver some results.
Absolutely. It's all going to be about delivering results, building relationships, and really going to work for those customers.
Gotcha. And for number two, the moderate price, when we say community support driven, what does that mean exactly? If
It
that's
means, yeah. So what that would mean is that your pricing isn't high enough, and there's an expression out there that says, "Can you afford your customers?" And I really like that expression. And a lot of times, people, when you're doing the pricing, you have to say, "Okay, if I'm charging X amount, can I afford to give each new customer a personal phone call? Can I afford to check up on them every week?" And when you're in that moderate pricing range, the answer is oftentimes no. It doesn't mean that you don't give them an excellent support experience and onboarding experience. It just means that it's not on a one-on-one basis. So perhaps you're doing webinars, perhaps you're setting up a Facebook group, perhaps you're setting up a different community via LinkedIn or via Slack, and you're having support channels, so on and so forth. So you're really going the community route in order to deliver that experience, but they are getting high-end, top quality product.
Gotcha. So that one seems like it's moderately, just like it sounds, hands-on, where you still need to be conscious of supporting the community in some capacity.
That's correct. That's correct.
Gotcha. And with lower price, what are some of the pros and cons that you see with lower pricing models?
So again, the experience is key because you're going into a very saturated market. You need to make sure that when the sign up process is seamless. So not only is the landing page going to engage me, not only when I sign up is it going to be simple to follow, everything that happens after I sign up is going to be things that don't require tickets, that don't require support, that everybody knows exactly how to use the platform, that there's a good education automation behind it as well, and there's going to be a significant marketing budget for you to drive the traffic to the site, because at that point what you need are numbers, and if you're going to need hundreds or thousands of people to sign up in order to hit those revenue goals, it's unlikely you're going to be able to do that knocking on doors or just through your personal network. You're actually going to need a marketing budget behind it and drive traffic via social media advertisements, pay-per-click, and so forth.
And on top of that, the reason why optimized and automation is there is because you're not going to be generally talking to these people one on one, because theoretically there's going to be so many people that are attracted to the product. You can attract people to your low prices, but unless your copy and the content of your site isn't compelling enough, nobody is going to sign up. So you could have the lowest prices in the world, but if you're not convincing them, because you're not talking to them on the phone, you're not doing product demos for them, you don't have really a community for them to ask questions or whatever level of support you're looking to offer. You need to be ninja with the benefits of joining your organization on your website. So it's not just about the lower prices. Your website needs to sell itself, because you're not going to be there to talk to people for $5 signups all day long. You talk to people who are $500 or $5,000 signups. You'll do demos for those people. So with the lower price point, that's why we say you do need probably need more experience to make sure that not only are you offering the lower price, but your marketing is so good that people do take out the credit card from their back pockets and sign up to your organization without talking to a single person.
And Jason, what would be, as an entrepreneur, if I'm starting out, or if I've been at this for a while, what would be the damage to me as an entrepreneur by choosing the wrong model? If I am, for example, offering a low price, but I'm getting involved personally in these sales, what would be the impact of me making a bad decision, and which pricing formula to go with?
So let's say you're offering a lower price, but you're talking to every potential sign up. Now that could be a good thing, because I'm always an advocate for talking to members and getting feedback for the community. But if you're investing to bring traffic to the site, it's going to be hard to recoup your investment, especially with the limited time you have. If the prices are so low, you'll never make back your investment on your marketing or the time that you're investing. Being more hands-on not only creates a more personalized feel for the members that are joining, but you can charge. It's almost like a concierge service at that point. You can charge a higher amount. You can take them through a product demo, what they're gonna receive, and yeah. So I think the more hands-on you are, the more you can charge, but you need to have your pitch and your presentation down at the same time. Let's take this a step further, and let's actually see some examples of pricing here with these pricing formulas. So Pat, let's say you set your revenue goal to $5,000. You've done your market research. You figure with the amount of time you can put in, you can put $5,000. So how do we get to $5,000? There's lots of ways to get to $5,000. We've created 3 simple ways that you could potentially get to $5,000, and it's about reverse engineering your membership dues and fees. So actually, number 1 on this list is the lower price one, right, Pat?
That's correct. And the model that I see most when meeting with Brilliant Directories users and directory users in general is this first model, the 500 members paying $10, the low price point.
Right. But it seems appealing. Hey, $10, who's not going to pay $10, right? But again, the website really needs to sell. You're probably not going to make a phone call if you're about to spend $10 on a site. Either the pricing page is going to sell you or it's not. So you really need to have your marketing down. And that's a lot of work. If you want to get to $5,000, you need 500 members. So let's say to get 500 members signed up, let's say you convert at 10%. So you need 5,000 website visitors to get 500 members. No, is that right? Yeah, 500 members or whatever the numbers might be. So you need a method and strategy to get those 5,000 members to your site. So 10% of them convert to $10 per month. So you really have to have your marketing skills down with regards to driving traffic to your site, and then the site itself selling people on signing up. Again, they have to pull out their credit card on their own without talking to anyone. Maybe you have a chat through the website and you answer some basic questions. And basically everything is self-managed by the members, and you're gonna have to provide limited support, because you can't talk to 500 people a day who are interested in signing up your site.
That's correct, and they shouldn't be asking questions like, "Can I get a demo? I don't understand the benefits." After they sign up, they can't be emailing you with questions on how do I set this up, how do I do this. If those types of questions are coming up, it's probably not the right model for you.
It's not the model, and again, the website is not doing the selling for you. Also, it's still confusing, or you're not really highlighting the benefits and of your program and organization properly. So that's why you really need to know marketing and how to create good, choosing the right words for your website copy to get people to join. Option number 2 is the moderate option. You could get to $5,000 a month or a year, whatever you're looking to do, if you sign up 50 members paying $100. So tell us a little bit about some of the pros and cons of this approach, Pat.
So obviously the pros is that you need to make a lot less sales. So it's an easier goal to get to. You don't need anywhere near the marketing budget that you would in the smaller price point. But of course, if you're charging 10 times more, that means that you're going to need to significantly increase the value that you're offering to those members. And you're going to really have to build a strong community. You're going to have to make sure that when they join, that they're welcome, that they have a lot of avenues to get information and education, and they really feel like I'm a part of a credible network here that's well worth paying the dollars that I'm paying.
Right, and even with this, like this type of model might warrant like even a 15-minute phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Not a 1 hour demo, but potentially a 15-minute consultation call to see if they're a good candidate. You interview them to see if they're a good candidate for your organization. So again, yeah, this one is more community driven. You still want to maintain the credibility and authority of your and prestige of your organization to create the demand for people to want to join. But as far as workload, you're cutting your workload down, I guess, 90% with this, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's there's a lot of effort that goes into it, but I think that this is probably, if you don't have a lot of expertise to bring to the table, if you can't offer the community something that they can't get anywhere else, there's a good chance that this is probably the right direction for a lot of people that are on this webinar. Doesn't mean it's the right formula for everybody, but I do see this one as being one of the ones that succeeds the most.
Now, we're using $5,000 as an arbitrary number here. This could be $2,000. This could be $50,000. And then the pricing 10, 100, and 1,000. Again, it's all going to vary based on your industry. We just wanted to do some simple math here in this example.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3 in this option is your higher priced model, where you're really just looking to get a select few number of members to sign up, but you're going to provide a lot of hands-on, potentially a lot of hands-on support and value, and you're going to deliver results to them to warrant their investment for their membership dues. So with this one, you might not have a high marketing budget. You may, but you really want a system to find and identify candidates. That's the most important thing. So this is where you're probably going to put the most sweat equity in and the most time in, but the payoff is going to be a lot bigger per member. So you're going to create a relationship. You're going to court them for a while. You might do a product demo. You get them warmed up. There's probably going to be more decision makers on the other end. So you might have to talk to a couple different people. But once you get a system down in place, it may eventually become less work than option number 1 here. You might just have to work half the amount of time, depending on your experience and your ability to sell your product, the higher price product.
That's correct, and I'll give a couple of examples of different ways I've seen this implemented. Let's say I am a national directory for dentists. I can go the route of trying to get as many dentists into the directory as I can, which is the low fee route. I can try to build a lot of relationships with a lot of dentists paying the medium price route, or perhaps what I'll do is I'm going to try to find one dentist for each city and try to build a relationship with them and offer them something they're not seeing anywhere else. So I might go to Houston and go to a dentist. And yes, maybe there are 1,000 dentists in Houston. And I could be calculating, well, if they all signed up and gave me $10, I would make, X amount of money. I see a lot of people make that calculation. And I find it easier to find one dentist in Houston and to tell him, listen, we're a national directory for dentists. And we know that it's very competitive out there. And what we're looking for is we're looking to build one partnership with one dentist that has the standards and values that we have in this directory. And we want to match our visitors to that dentist. We'll build a landing page to generate leads. We guarantee 100% of the leads are going to go to you. We're going to have a dedicated AdWords campaign. We're going to make sure your profile is optimized. You're going to have a personal account manager, and we're going to guarantee you leads. But there's only one, and after this particular appointment, we're meeting with 3 of your competitors, and there is a sense of urgency here because we only have one spot in Houston, and I'm interested. Would you like that to be you? There's a sense of urgency. I'm offering something no one else has, but of course, we're highlighting that hands-on support. I'm telling him a bunch of stuff we're going to do for him. It's not just a directory listing, but I do prefer that sort of approach. But again, I'm offering expertise. I know how to market. I know how to run advertisement campaigns, and I know how to deliver those leads. I'm telling him I'm going to be able to deliver.
Now, if you can figure out number 3 without being hands-on, and those are great examples, Pat. So you just have a product where it doesn't require you to do much and it adds a ton of value for your members. That's where you've created a cash cow because you have low overhead expenses with regards to your time and the amount of resource you need to dedicate per client, and the clients are happy to pay you a premium for that product or service. That's when you get into the cash cow realm, when you've really optimized assisting the user, but you're also giving them super high value that exceeds what competitors can offer them. So I think that's always a good goal to reach, is supporting not just more customers, but adding more value to what you can offer customers with using less resources on your end. That's ideal. But yeah, getting hands-on is definitely something that's something that you can do to provide that your help is the premium service that you're offering them. So yeah, we wanted to launch a poll and a survey here. It's going to pop up on your screen. After you've probably just unloaded a lot of information to you, we were just curious which formula you think you can support. Let me launch this poll here. You can answer the question in front of you. Do you think you can support a high price model where you're working with less members, but they're paying you a whole lot more? Do you think you have what it takes, or are you succeeding already with a low priced model and members are joining your site because the site is obviously doing a good job selling them on your product or service? Or do you feel that you should just offer your product and service at a moderate price based on what the industry standard is and what other competitors are doing? It looks like everyone has almost voted in. If you haven't voted in, let us know which formula might work best for your website. We're just curious to see where people feel they're most comfortable with the amount of time and resources it would take based on these models. All right, I'm going to end the poll now. I can see 3 more people need to vote in. Okay, great. We're going to close the poll. Pat, it is unanimous. Let me close the polls here. Okay, great. 67% of the audience today said they would be comfortable with the moderate price. And it's a split decision between who'd be comfortable with the high priced versus the low price. I'd like to do this. If you selected the high price model, can you raise your hand? I'd love to hear what you're offering people at that higher priced model, that or the types of services, or the lower priced model, what you're doing with regards to your marketing to get people in. So let's see if we can unmute some of these mics here. All right. Our good friend Wendy, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. How was this tip of the week for you today?
Oh, absolutely wonderful.
It kind of puts things into perspective because there's more than one way to reach a goal like this, and it can really cut down the amount of work that you put into your site, actually, and actually help you use your time and energy for other things potentially.
Not sure if it's cutting down the amount of work right now.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about these formulas and which one you think you're most comfortable with.
Yeah, we always chose the high price model and the paid model. We never wanted everybody come in for free and then, we'll upgrade you later. We knew that the directory would be smaller, but we knew what we had to offer. We offer a lot of education in terms of the technologies being used out there today that, our particular community was unaware of, such as proximity based marketing, uh, SMS marketing, so it's not just on the website. We actually go into businesses and, work with, different types of technologies, installing different types of technologies in their businesses to help them get,
So,
more customers.
so you almost become a solution partner for them, not
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And for
Yeah.
that service, you can charge a premium.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Do you have any tips for anyone out there who might need more information on what it takes to charge for a premium product, a higher price product?
Well, I think you have to have, number one, a product that is needed, such as, like I said, different types of technologies, not just showing a website. But for our directory, once again, we can go in and set businesses up with short messaging codes, SMS marketing. We do video marketing for businesses, professional video marketing. We do proximity based marketing where we can actually install machines up to their systems, and connect them with email marketing, Facebook, and all of that. So it's not only web based, but we actually go, inside the businesses as well.
That's fantastic. And then lastly, you said that it's not free for everyone to join. So how do you create a level of exclusivity to create the demand from these prospects in the first place? Is it like special to be part of your organization? How are you? What's the kind of the angle you're using to entice people in the first
Yeah.
place?
Well, I think we had a head start. Maybe that's what did it. I'm not sure. But the president of this particular web directory, Elegant Living Directory, has always been a member of the community and working with businesses, etc. So early on, she was connected to a lot of businesses and, went to a lot of events, attended a lot of their events, etc. And she still does that today. So that's how she gets a lot of the members.
So
And
that's interesting. We have the system. We have the system to find candidates. There's a great sales pitch and demo. You guys deliver on your results, and there's a lot of hands-on support, which means you really fit that model of charging a premium to your members.
And if you look at our blog site, we also do a lot of training on technologies, the different types of technologies we offer.
So you're writing articles to demonstrate your expertise on marketing and that you guys are state of the art and cutting edge when it comes to knowing best practices and things like that,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So great. You're creating assets that encourage confidence in prospective members about your capabilities as an organization.
Yes. And we're just getting ready to institute a advisory committee, taking some of the business members and making them become part of an advisory committee on, where we can take this directory next.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your feedback and also for sharing your site with us today.
Thank you.
Awesome, Wendy. So great feedback from there. Pat read it verbatim here. She does that organization falls into the number 3 category. They have a system to find potentially high paying candidates. They have to do a sales pitch and demo, and then they actually go into the office. They deliver the results that they promise on, and there is hands-on support. So that was a good example to show that this model can work. They just require different things from you. Let's see if we have anybody else's hand up here. Oh, we got our good friend Barry. Barry, you're from the UK, correct?
That's absolutely right. Yeah,
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Was this presentation helpful at all? The tip of the week today?
Yeah, I'm actually going the other end of the market to our last one in a different way, and because I've been in the photography industry for 40 years, it's an industry I know and understand absolutely from the ground up, and so I'm going with an annual fee.
Okay. So this one requires experience, and we mentioned requires experience, but not only in marketing, but you just said it, in the industry that you're going to serve. So you definitely understand their needs and wants and what they're willing to pay and things like that. So the experience is both on the marketing side and understanding the industry. So very good.
Yeah, and for selling to the market, I've got email lists of something like 40,000 photographers within the US alone, 10,000 in the UK. They're on my computer. So as soon as I finish building the website and pre-uploading those, we will be hitting those with email marketing to get them to come in and initially sign up as a free member and then upgrade them to an annual paid membership.
Okay, great. So a little bit of guerrilla marketing, you're going for high volume, and then a percentage of those will convert into paying members.
That's the idea.
Okay, great. Thank you, Barry, for sharing the type of strategy you're going to implement and some reasons why also. It's important to know why you're going that route, and I think you've justified kind of the path you're taking.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, Pat, some good stuff there. We saw two ends of the spectrum between high and low. So Barry's going the guerrilla marketing route. Wendy's going the more hands-on, one-on-one route. So yeah, there's multiple ways to get to the revenue goal that you have in mind, just as a matter of your experience and time and investment that you're looking to make. Any final comments on this, Pat, on this topic?
Oh, I just hope that this was helpful to some of the people listening today and helping you know, okay, if I'm in this model, what are the missing pieces for me to really execute successfully? Maybe I'm missing that community. Maybe I don't have a Facebook group. Maybe I don't have an onboarding set up, and I'll need that. Or perhaps it's when I see this model personally, I see, hey, it's easier for me to make 5 sales than it is to make 500 sales. But that's because in my personal case, there's certain elements that make that formula work for me. So hopefully some people discovered that they actually fit in a different formula than they were actually currently implementing on their sites.